Hi everybody, Coach Allison back, and I have week 48, Defy Aging, to review with you. This week there are two different circuits, and all of the participants, all the clients are going to do each circuit together because they're timed differently. So they're both going to be also 4 exercises though. Circuit 1 is 4 exercises of 35 seconds on, 25 seconds off for 4 rounds. And circuit 2 is also 4 exercises, but that's only 20 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 4 rounds. So we do have a total of 8 exercises. Let's review what those are. Exercise 1, half kneel, medicine ball, overhead press. Excuse me. So we're in our half kneel position, which we do quite often. Yeah, we want 90-degree bends in both knees. Look out for that. Got the medicine ball at the chest, and I'll turn to the side, I think, actually, here. Excuse me. The medicine ball is at the chest, and you do have to kind of get your head out of the way, so you can't be leaning forward, but we don't want to be excessively leaning back. Watch out for that. At the upper chest, and we press up and over the head. So you do have to keep your gaze slightly upward the whole time. That does help. Not halfway through. There's 4 rounds, so we will do a different knee each new round. So you don't have to worry about switching in the middle. Next is a mini band hip bridge. So you have your mini band around the legs. You want it just above the knee, so 1 inch or 2 above the knee. Okay, arms are at your sides, palms stay facing up. Keep the shoulders in a safer position. And you can just put your little space between the knees, and we lift those hips. Normal hip bridge after that. The only difference between this and our typical hip bridge is that we have this band creating some resistance. So definitely make sure you pick a band that is pretty challenging. If the band is too light, you won't feel much on that. I'm keeping this on around my legs, so I'm going to show you an alternative to keep you off of the floor if needed. So you'll still be using a band. I'm going to move. But instead, we're going to do a glutes kickback. So the band is now going to be around your lower legs, just above the ankle. Okay? And you can use a wall in front of you to stabilize. So we're going to do a glute kickback. Okay, we'll do, since there are 4 rounds, if you're doing this option instead of the hip bridge, you'll do 2 rounds kicking back with each leg. Contralateral step up. So that means that the weight you're holding, you're going to be holding one weight. It's going to be in the opposite arm from the leg that's doing the step up. So I have the dumbbell in my right hand. I'm going to place my left foot on the step, and you're just going to leave this foot leg here. We're not going to bring it down until we're done. So this opposite leg goes up. We're going to do our step up, step down. So notice I'm not bringing this left leg down. I am holding the weight again with the opposite side. So again, since there are 4 rounds, we'll do 2 rounds on one side. So for your next time around, switch the side with the weight and switch the working leg. Next exercise is a heel touch. It's a core exercise. So you're laying flat with your knees bent. You're going to scoot your heels in towards your glutes as far as you can. Reach your arms down like you're kind of pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. Now, I'm going to come up and do a crunch. And when I do that, I'm also actually going to tuck my chin kind of into my chest. Since we're holding the head up for this exercise, if you keep the head kind of looking straight up, it really starts to tire out and maybe strain the neck. But if you tuck your chin down, that's going to just give your neck a little support. So keep that in mind. So we do a crunch, meaning we try to lift the shoulders and the shoulder blades off the floor. And we then do a little twist side to side. Maybe not a twist. What would this be? Just a reach, I guess, towards your heel. Your goal is you're trying to touch your heel if you're able to. It's called a heel touch. If you can't quite reach the heels, that's no problem. You will notice on this one, the higher you are able to stay up in that crunch, so the more you're able to get the more of your back off the floor, the less tiring it is on the neck and the more engagement of the core. Option for those of us staying off the floor, we're going to do a weighted side dip or a side bend. Weight in one hand. Just place the other hand lightly behind your head. You're not grabbing. Just touch your fingertips to your head. Step your feet wide, and we dip down, pull up. What we're trying to do here is not compensate by sticking the hip out, so we're not doing this. And we're not dipping so far that we're lifting this foot off the floor. So keep everything very still and simply draw that hand down the side of the leg and pull back up. So that's going to be your alternative if for keeping you off of the floor for the heel touches. Okay, let's go through our second circuit. So exercise 1 for the second circuit is our typical medicine ball slam. Bring it up high. Exhale on the slam. Try to catch it on the bounce. That's our medicine ball slam. Next, we have plank jacks. Now, we did high plank jacks last week. We're going to do the standard plank, so low plank jacks this week. So that means you're on your elbows instead of your hands. Make sure your hips are level so we aren't having the hips way up here. And we're going to jump the feet. Another option is tapping the feet. That takes away the impact, of course. And of course, you can do that on an incline. So feel free to place your forearms up on an elevated surface and do either option, the jumps or the taps from the elevated surface instead. There is no knee option for this. Even tapping the knees out to the sides just doesn't really work very well. So yes, toes only, but you can do floor or incline. Next is the agility ladder steps. We're going to work more agility as opposed to cardio with this. So we aren't going to do any jumping. We're going to do our fast steps. So we want to go in, out, out of each box. So I'll do it kind of slowly first. In, out, out. In, out, out. You want to stay on the balls of your feet and add some speed. Okay? So when you get to the end, just turn around and head back. But I want to be facing you, so I'm going to go back to the start. One more time. In, out, out as you're traveling forward. Again, stay kind of on the balls of those feet. Try not to place the heels all the way down on the floor. Last one is a band bicep curl. We're going to do a seesaw pattern. For this, we actually want to go kind of fast. So I recommend using a very light band. Step on the band in the middle. One arm starts up, one arm starts down. And we're doing fast seesaw bicep curls. Seesaw just means when one arm goes up, the other goes down, as opposed to doing a full alternating. It just really speeds it up. A couple things to keep in mind. Yes, we're going fast, but that doesn't mean, remember, fast doesn't mean sloppy. So want to make sure we're getting the full range of motion, so we're not just doing this. I want to make sure we're not swaying the arms around too much. So keep it tight, keep it controlled. We just want that little bit of speed. Keep the elbows in really snug to your side. Make sure they're not flaring out. And doing that for 20 seconds at a time, if you have that speed, is going to tire out those biceps. Okay, team, so that's week 48. I'll see you back next week with week 49.